glad to be present.
It's so dreadful to be poor.
I don't think it's fair for some girls to have plenty of pretty things and other girls nothing at all.
We've got father and mother and each other. We have a godfather and shall not have for a long time. Perhaps never.
Mother said it wouldn't be proper for us to celebrate Christmas this year because it's going to be a hard winter for everyone. And it wouldn't be right for us to have such a lovely Christmas with the northern and southern men in the army suffering so.
And the little we could have wouldn't do much good. We've each got $1 and the army won't be helping us with that.
I plan to spend my dollar on new music. I wanted to buy a nice box of Faber's pencils.
Mother didn't say anything about her money, and I'm sure she won't want us to spend it all. So if we, spend what we want and have a little fun, I'm sure we work hard enough to earn it.
I know that I do, working for those tiresome king children all day when I long to enjoy myself at home.
You don't have half as hard a time as I do. How would you like to be shut up with a nervous, fussy old lady who keeps you trotting around crying, Josephine, Josephine, where is that girl, where is that girl? And keeps you worried until you're ready to fly out a window.
I do think washing dishes and keeping things tidy is the worst work in the world. It makes me cross when my hands so stiff I can't play my piano.
I don't believe any of you suffer as I do, for you don't have to go to school with a bunch of impertinent girls who laugh at your dresses and label your father if he isn't rich.
If you mean libel, I'd say so. I'm not talking about a label. I just thought it was a pimple bottle.
I know what I mean, and you need it to be practical. It's proper to use good long words to improve your vocabulary.
Vocabulary?
I said it was.
What?
Just now! Don't you wish you had the money Papa had when you were little? What does it even mean to go on a man's bond?
It's like this. Say you owe a lot of money.
How much?
Thousands and thousands and thousands.
How can you owe it but not own it?
That's called high finance.
It isn't honest.
Well, the demarcation between your business ability and dishonesty is very slight. Mr. Bottomley was Father's best friend. He owed a lot of money. His creditors made demands on him and then he took sick. And Father went his fund, which means he was guaranteed to pay his debts if he failed.
He did fail. I'm the oldest and I can remember when we had better times in this house.
They'll come again.
Of course they will. You'll become a great writer. That famous pianist. And Amy a great artist.
And you, Meg? She'll marry and support the rest of us. I had a lot of fun today with that march.
How?
Well, she insisted on my reading that everlasting Belgian to her again, so I droned away as per usual, knowing she'd soon fall asleep, and she did, and as soon as the cat began to bawl like a top-heavy dolphin, I whipped out the vicar of Wakefield, and I kept one eye on him and the other on Aunt. I got to the part where they all tumbled in the water and forgot and laughed out loud, which woke her, and she insisted I read a bit of the frivolous stuff that I referred to the instructed Belgian.
Weren't you frightened?
Scared to death. I read it the very best I could, but all she said to me was, I don't understand what it's all about. Go back and read it, child.
What did you do then?
Well, back I went and made the primrose as interesting as ever I could. Once I was wicked enough to stop in a thrilling place and say meekly, I'm afraid it tires you, man. Shall I stop now?
Did she know that she liked?
Oh, bless you. No. But she let old Belgium rest, and once I went back to my gloves, and there she was so hard at the vicar that she didn't hear me laughing as I did the vicar
What a pleasant life she might have if only she chose.
I don't envy her much in spite of her money.
Well, rich people have as many worries as poor ones, I guess.
Oh, I have a story. It isn't funny like Joe's, but I've been thinking about it all day.
Is it something about the Kings?
Yes, when I went over to the King's today, I saw the house was all in a flurry because one of the eldest brothers had done something disgraceful and the father had sent him away. Mrs. King was crying and Mr. King was talking very loud. And, after I saw Grace and Ellen turn their eyes away so I wouldn't see how red they were. I didn't say anything then, but I felt rather glad that I hadn't any brothers in the family to do wicked things and disgrace the family.
I think being disgraced in school is a great deal more trying than anything incorrigible boys can do.
Meaning what's for oracle?
Susie Perkins came to school today with a lovely red carnelian ring. Oh, and I wanted it so dreadfully, and I wish I was her with all my might. Well, Susie drew a picture of Mr. Davis with a mountainous proboscis bump on his back with the words, "Young ladies, my eyes are upon you," with coming out of his mouth with some balloon thing. We were all laughing over it when all of a sudden his eye was upon us. That poor girl, whatever did she do? She was paralyzed with fright, but she went.
Well, there was nothing else she could do.
What do you think he did?
Spit on the face.
No, don't rub it out. He took her by the ear. The ear, just fancy how it organ. And he led her to the recitation platform to hold up the slate for half an hour so everybody could see.
Did the girls laugh at the picture after that?
Laughed not once. They were all paralyzed with fright, and they all sat as still as mice. And Susie cried copious quarts, I know she did.
Well, I'll wager you didn't envy her then.
I felt millions of carnelian rings would have made me happy after that. I would never have gotten over such agonizing mortification.
I saw something I liked today.
What was it now?
When I went to get some oysters for Hannah, I saw Mr. Lawrence at the fish shop.
Oh, Glory's grandfather, eh?
Yes, and he was just as grouchy as ever, but he didn't see me because I hid behind a barrel. A barrel of trouble. This poor woman came in with a pail and a mop and asked to do some scrubbing for some spare fish since her children were hungry. But Mr. Connor said no rather sharply because he was in a hurry. But Mr. Lawrence picked up a fish with his cookie cane and said, "Go on, woman, and cook it." She ran out without being getting around. Oh, she did look so funny with her big slimmer fish running around.
We are a jolly set. Joe, don't use such slang words. Joe, it's boyish.
That's how you do it.
I detest unladylike words.
Oh, I can affect it any
Shit, birds of them, that should agree.
You're both in the wrong. Joe, you're far too old to behave in such a tomboyish way. It was fine when you were little, but now that you're tall, it's time for you to put your hair up and behave more like a lady.
I won't, and turning up my hair makes me know what I will turn it in little tails until I'm 20. I hate to think that I've got to grow up and be Miss March and be as prim as a China Aster, when all I want is to be a boy and play boys' games at work and manners.
But your hair is so pretty, Joe.
Finest in the family.
I wish mine were as nice.
I can't get over my disappointment in not being a boy. And it's worse now, for all I want to do is go and find father, and all I can do is stay at home and knit like a pokey old woman.
Poor Joe, but it cannot be stopped. You can only change your name and cut your hair like a boy and play brother to us girls.
And Amy, you must stop behaving so particular and prim. I love your manners, but when you use them so gratuitously, it's almost as bad as Joe's slang. You sound like a silly little goose.
If Amy's a goose and Joe's tomboy, what am I, please?
You're a deer and nothing else.
Just a little mouse.
I wonder what's keeping Mother.
She'll be home soon. I saw her slippers were quite worn out.
Oh, she must have new ones.
I was planning on getting her some with my dollar.
No, I shall.
I'm the oldest.
Well, I'm the man of the family now that father's away, and he told me to take special care of mother while he was gone, so I'll be getting the slippers.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll each spend our dollar on something for Mommy and nothing for ourselves.
That's like you. That's what we get.
I'll get her a pair of new gloves.
Terribly, the gray slippers, the best we had.
All handkerchiefs, all hemmed.
I'll buy her a little bottle of cologne de Francis. It won't cost much, so I'll have some money left over to buy my pencils.
When shall we go shopping?
Well, we must go immediately. I mean, we've got so much to do for the play for Christmas, and we must be doubly perfect for Aunt Marge coming to see how well we perform her brainchild.
I hope you didn't tell her of the dress rehearsal today.
But there was like the slightest chance of her coming. Her leg is giving her Hail Columbia, and she's too interested in the Vicar of Wakefield. Come here and do the fainting scene, and you're stiff as a poker.
I can't help it. I never saw anyone faint, and I don't choose to make myself all black and blue, tumbling as flat as you do. If I can go down easily, I'll flop. If I can't, I'll sink into my chair and be graceful.
Well, you have to do it like this. You clap your hands like so, and you stand around the room. My Rodrigo, save me, save me! Oh!
Glad to find you so very
Let me get your bonnet. Oh, let me have your cloak.
Let me take your overshoes.
Well, dearest, have you gotten on today? Has anyone called back? Oh, how's your cold doing, Meg? Joe, you look tired to death, dear.
All right.
Treat in store for you girls. My dear wife and darling children, I know you'll be pleased to hear that Mr. Lincoln has chosen Ulysses Grant to lead the Union cause. We're hoping that this conflict between the North and the South, between brothers and fathers, will soon terminate. I've been extremely busy and am so grateful for my duties as chaplain. As you're well aware, I'm too old to be drafted and not strong enough to be a soldier, but I'm doing my part and I'm satisfied with the results. Now, for the best part of the letter. How are my little women? Give them my dear love and a kiss. Tell them I think of them by day and pray for them by night and find my best comfort in their affections at all times. A year seems very long to wait until I see them, but remind them that while we wait, we may all work, so that these hard days may not be wasted. I know they'll remember all I've said to them, that they'll be loving children to you, who do these duties faithfully, fight their bosom enemies bravely, and conquer themselves so beautifully that when I come back to them, I may be ever fonder and prouder of my little women.
Well, I truly am a selfish girl, but I try to be better so you won't be disappointed in me by and by.
I agree. I know that I hate to work and I care far too much about my looks, but I shall work harder if that's what Father wishes.
I'll try and be what he calls me, a little woman, and not be so rough and wild.
I'll be all that Father hopes for when he returns. For when the year comes round, we all have a part in the scheme of things. I must play with you children.
You are me? You're perfect. Why do you say that?
As I sat today at the rooms folding cloths, I felt very anxious and worried about Father and thought about how lonely we should be if anything were to happen to him. It's not a wise thing to do, but I kept on worrying. Until this old man came in with an order for some clothes. He sat down near me and I began to talk to him, for he looked very poor and tired.
What did you say to him?
Have you any sons in the army?
Happy.
4, he said. 2 were killed, 1 was a prisoner, and the other one was in some hospital in Washington. He spoke so cheerfully and seemed to give it his all that I felt ashamed of myself. I'd been one man who thought it too much. If he'd given 4, without grudging them. I had my dear girls to come back home to, and his last son was waiting miles away to say goodbye to him, perhaps. I felt so cheerful, so rich with all that I was blessed with, that I gave him a nice bundle, some money, and thanked him heartily for the lesson he taught me. When you feel discontent, think over your blessings and be grateful.
I'm going to take that advice.
Me too.
Now, my dears, I think you promised me a dress rehearsal of your Christmas play.
Oh, look, we've got the stage all set.
Have you much to put on?
Oh, we'll be ready in 5 minutes. Come on.
Hand on the front door.
Would you be after going and flowering here?
Certainly not. Mr. Lawrence, won't you come in?
Thank you, Miss March. And my tutor, Mr. Brooke.
Pleased to know you, Mr. Brooke.
Lord insisted I come see the rehearsal.
Oh, then you know.
Yes, the girls said they started a little after you came home.
I was detained, but you're just in time. The girls have retired to prepare, so be seated.
We'll be the audience.
Miss March, I feel like I've had the great pleasure of knowing your daughters. I feel like me meeting you is indeed a great honor.
How, Mr. Brooke?
Well, you're the sort of mother I wish to always have.
What do you mean?
Well, my mother died when I was very young. And my dream of a mother is to duplicate in what your daughters express in every action in reference to you.
They are dear girls.
Joe's the nicest.
I'm afraid we don't quite agree with that, do we?
I have no choice.
Well, mine leaning more towards a Miss Peg.
Really?
Are you ready, Marvy?
The entire audience is seated.
He knows the popcorn, get a program of the play.
Thank you, Lori.
Yes, and Mr. Brooke is here too.
Oh, Meg, Mr. Brooke is here.
Did Joe write the play?
Oh yes, every Christmas she writes another and more interesting one.
Oh, my beloved Zira! Full many a time hath the moon in his orb swung on the suns and forced our love lighted. I feared 'tis useless. Yestereve we met. Jupiter was glowing in the north heavens, and in the south Orion was wending his lonely way. Oh, woe was me! Oh, woe! And to be beloved by 2 men, and my choice of not honorable sire.
We have you win him over to our side.
I fear 'tis useless. Our cause is dark.
It's always darkest near the dawn breaks upon the world.
Me father! I think I hear me father!
What art thou doing, daughter?
Do not enter, sire! I am retiring. My maid hath removed my gown.
Sleep well upon thine eyes, for when you awake, you will marry the man of my choosing, the Honorable Hugo.
Good night, sire. 'Twas my father, and I am betrothed to Sir Hugo. Oh, woe is me!
There is but one solution, my love.
What is't? Light whence? My baronial straight from the glasses of the black forest. Dwells the dragon. No longer does he abide the locality. What meanest thou? I saw him yesterday.
Out of the forest came he, demanding the blood of a nobleman. I mounted my trusty black horse with Peladon. The monster reared and mocked at my approach. Fire flew from his mouth and gleamed from his eyes like twin suns of their brilliance. He stood upon his back legs and rose to the height of a mountain. Then he sprang. Peladon was a quick-witted charger who stood with me in many combat people. He was not to be outwitted or gainsaid, for as quick as thought, my trusty master's blade had entered the heart of the beast. Peladon, knowing the death agonies would be dangerous to the man who stood to his heels. The beast lashed left and right, uprooting trees and leveling hills, and all to sundown, his agonies ceased. We lay home in death. Sorry.
My Think thou art possible to capture? Verily 'tis me, Lord, cast thou rope, and I will catch. Thanks, Lori. Hast thou secured it? I come to you with great dispatch. I told you so. Has anyone hurt? I am. How could you doubt the old bottom? Her feelings are hurt.
I'm sorry, Amy, please forgive me.
It's okay, it was my fault.
Now that's why all sisterly arguments should end.
Amy, I'm proud of your attitude. Finally, someone is developing a level head in this topsy-turvy house.
On March, I didn't know you were here.
Did you appreciate my being anywhere?
Did the band watch?
I did, all of it. And I advise a great deal of application and rehearsal if you plan on presenting that for 6 weeks. It's in a deplorable state of imperfection.
This is Mr. Lawrence on March.
How are you, young man?
And my tutor, Mr. Brooke.
Did you say look?
No, Brooke.
Joe, you must be more possessive and commanding as Sir Hugo, and more loving and tender as Rodrigo. So your actions to your words, we might perchance at playing both characters. Meg, don't let so much voice as your character pay for the witch. And Amy, don't use so many gestures and talk like a human being. And Beth, I want to see you out there more.
How does it all end, Meg?
Yes, Stu, I want you to the show. Miss Joseph.
Well, I'll tell you how it ends. The father interrupts with the flight, and the villain tries to have a drink with the hero, but the witch switches the drinks. So when Sir Hugo takes a sip of the death-dealing distillment, he dies. Rodrigo tries to ask the hand for Zira, but her father informs him he's too poor to pay dowry. So Rodrigo claps his hands, bags the money appear, the money is opened, the money is spilled onto the floor, Zira is given to her lover, and all ends well.
Well, Joe, how will you manage the drinking scene when you play both Hugo and Rodrigo?
Oh, I play Rodrigo in that scene.
You girls are too versatile.
Oh, I'll get it.
I'll permit me to accompany you this morning.
The door is ajar unless they knock.
Oh, it's a telegram. There's the water boy.
I'll get it.
Read it, Martha.
Your husband is very ill. Come at once.
My father! My poor father! My friend needs to go to Washington.
I'll see what I can do.
Oh, wait for me.
Allow me to accompany you to Washington this morning.
Oh no, I couldn't ask that of you, Mr. Brooke.
I can just have Mr. Lawrence commission me to go.
I'll come with you. Maybe he'll agree if I plead on your behalf.
Amy, that's really too strong enough to catch my small trunk. Yes, Mommy! That's your Mr. Lawrence, huh? You might know he took care of those harem-starved ways of his mother, the opera singer. I never blamed his father for sending him away under those circumstances. What was it, the telegram? Here, read it. Oh, Miss Spectacles. Jim, lose yours. I don't know if you took that yet. Don't flaunt your age in my teeth, they're younger than I. How old are you?
Have you found them?
I want an answer to my question.
I was referring to your glasses.
Why don't you ever say what you mean? Oh, they're on me! If you can see that, I'd like to get to Paris as soon as possible.
Just read the telegram, please.
Just as I said. No brain in that head of his. Running away to war at his age. The government refuses to take him because he's too old and too sick, and yet he goes, without pay, to minister to the sick and dying.
A noble sacrifice?
A fine sacrifice that. He sacrifices his health. You'll get no money when you see him.
I haven't asked for any money, have I?
Yes, but you'll need it, won't you?
Yes?
Do I refuse mine?
Because you haven't offered any.
But I do. He's my own blood and flesh, and he's sick among strangers, so that's what I send for his comforts. How much do you need?
Why, I don't...
Don't interrupt. I haven't any money for me. Stop on the road to the station. There's a train in about half an hour. Amy, how are you improving your gun?
Why,
Oh, don't answer your elders, young lady, I know. I was talking to Mr. Davis, and he said you are a great talent. Do you keep improving and working hard? I'll send you to Paris when you're ready. Have you read The Vicar of Wakefield, Amy? No! You should. It's a great book.
Dear soul, see what it means to look on my children? Take mother's advice. Find some worthy man, make homes for yourselves, and get something more than selfishness out of life. Beth, could you pack a handbag for me?
Yes, Marmee?
Grandfather said these for Mr. Marsh.
You need to put them in the trunk. I'll go get my things to pack with them.
Hold on a minute. You're 50 years old.
By the way, they're so slippery.
Her grandfather said blankets and cloth.
Lord, you're holding my hand.
It's a nice hand to hold.
You really think so?
The softest I ever held in my life.
So you've held other hands before?
Yes, Joe's, but hers more like a boy's.
Joe always wanted to be a boy, but I think a girl should be a girl. For then she's preparing herself for the life of marriage and motherhood.
Grandfather said these for before you get caught in the, I don't know the last word.
It's a simple word.
What does it mean?
You wouldn't understand.
How do you know I would?
What's the word then?
That's what I'm asking you.
Mother, you tell him.
It means to get well slowly.
Here we are, Mother.
Hope we have some good news.
Why enter so surreptitiously?
And from that part of the house.
We took a shortcut through the back way.
Then what took you so long?
Well, we stopped to ask Mr. Lawrence to commission me to go to Washington, and I'm to go for 2 months.
Did Jenny stitch up the graves?
Oh yes, at the door.
With him. We'll take us to the carriage.
Cheer my volley, girls.
Here, Marmee, is my contribution towards making Father comfortable and bringing him home.
My dear, where'd you get it? $25, Joe. I hope you haven't done anything rash.
No, I earned it myself. I didn't beg, borrow, or steal it. I earned it myself, and I don't think you'll blame me for it. I only stole it with my own.
Oh, my dear, your hair is beautiful hair. You're one beauty, Joe. There was no need of this.
What made you do it?
Well, I was wicked to do something for Father. Maggie spent all of her quarterly salary on rent, and I just felt horrible because I just bought clothes with mine. And I didn't have any idea of selling my hair at first, but I was walking down and I saw a sign in the barber shop window, and I suddenly had an idea this was something to make money out of. So I walked in and asked them if they'd buy my hair.
She doesn't look like my Joe anymore, but I love her for it.
Don't wail, it doesn't affect the inclination.
Didn't you feel terrible seeing it all on the floor like that?
I took one look at my hair as the man grabbed the shears, and that was the end of it, though I did feel queer seeing my dear hair on the table.
Thank you, dear. Your father will be proud of this sweet sacrifice. Goodbye, Meg. Be a little mother in my absence. Children, I do not fear of you, yet I'm anxious you should take this trouble right on. Do not grieve or fret when I'm gone. But think that you can comfort yourselves being anxious and running idle and trying to forget. Go on with your work as usual, for work is a blessed solace. Hope and keep busy, and whatever happens, remember that's in God's will, and it's for the best. My little women.
Bye, Marmee.
Oh, Joe, what is it? My hair! My hair!
Wouldn't it be nice if all of the castles in the sky that we make in our minds could come true and we could live in them?
I would make such quantities. It'd be hard to choose which I'd have.
You'd have to pick your favorites.
If I tell mine, will you tell yours?
Only if all the other girls do.
We will.
We will.
And our sweet little invalid.
Oh, but don't worry.
Don't joke, Lord. I'll be well soon.
I was sure of that, or else I never said what I did.
Now, Lori.
After I'd seen as much of the world as I'd like to be a famous musician, to sell in Germany. Myself and all creation is to rush to skiing. I'd never be bothered about money or business, just live for what I like. That's my fair counsel. What's yours, Meg?
I have to say my favorite castle would probably be a house full of servants, so I needn't have to do any chores anymore. I should have lots of servants, pleasant people, good food, nice clothes. And I wouldn't be idle, but I'd do well and make everyone love me dearly.
Would you have a master for your castle in the air?
I did say pleasant people, you know.
Why don't you say you'd have a nice, strong, handsome husband and some angelic little children? You know your castle wouldn't be complete without.
Well, you wouldn't have anything but inkstands, knolls, and horses in yours.
Wouldn't I, though? I'd have a stable full of Arabian steeds. I'd have rooms filled with books, and I'd write out of magic inkstands so my books could be famous as glorious music. I want to do something heroic or wonderful that won't be forgotten after I'm dead. I don't know what. I'll write books and get rich and famous. That's my favorite dream. What's yours, Matt?
Mine is to get well and stay home with mother and father and take care of the family. I only wish that we can all be together, happy and healthy. That's mine.
I have so many, but my pet is to go to Rome, do fine pictures and art, and become the best artist in the whole world.
We're in a business set, aren't we? All of us want to be rich and famous. I wonder if any of our wishes will come true.
Well, if we're all alive 10 years hence, let's see who gets our wishes. Let's meet up.
I want to have done something by then, but I'm such a lazy dog. I'm afraid I shall blow with you.
Well, Mother says you need a motive, and once you have it, you'll get on splendidly.
You should do as your grandfather says and work hard and do not be dismal and fret, for you'll get your reward just as Mr. Brooke has by being humble and loved.
What do you know about him?
What your grandfather told me, how he stayed with his sister until she died and didn't go abroad to work as a tutor for some nice rich people. He's a good man, Mr. Brooke.
It's like grandfather to find out all about him. If I ever get my wish, you'll see what I'll do for Mr. Brooke.
How can you now? By not plaguing the life out of him.
How do you know I do?
I can see it in his appearance. If you've done well, he walks very briskly and he's very happy and has a great pep in his step. But when you've done poorly, he seems very dejected and sober.
So you keep an account of my good and bad marks in Brooke's face, do you? I see him smile and bow as he passes your window. But I didn't know you'd get up a telegraph.
I'll go. Barbie! Father! Oh, let me get your cloak.
Oh, how are you, Joe? Oh, Amy, your sweetheart. And last but not least, my little mouse. So you're jealous of your father's illness and had to break his nose by getting ill.
How did you stand the trip, Mr. Brooke?
Splendidly. And your father was a brave soldier the whole time. I know you have a million things to say to each other, so I'll just take Mr. Lawrence a minute.
Oh, it's you then, boy.
I don't blame you with such wonderful daughters to greet you. I'll see you soon, sir, and hope your health will return.
Isn't it great to have them both back? It seems like ages since you went away.
We're glad to have you back.
I remember at a time his hand was white and smooth, and it was your only care to keep it so. But now it's now old. But I'm glad I can shake this industrious hand.
Thank you, Father. Please say something nice about Jo, Father. She's done so very, very good to me.
I do not see the sun I left a year ago. Instead, I see a young woman who laces her boots and pins her collar straight. There's no better gift I could have bought than the $25 my daughter sent me.
Thanks, Father. I'm trying to be your son, but I feel like crying is the same.
Not bad, Father.
There's so little I'm afraid to say, in spite of losing you from my grasp. I've got you here, my man.
I'm glad to have you back.
Amy, last but not least, I couldn't be infinitely proud of a father who has such a great, incredible daughter with the talent of an artist.
Now, children, I think it best we take Father to his room.
I think that would be best.
Marmy, I'm so glad you're back. I'm worried about something. Meg, probably you guessed.
What was it?
It's a little thing, but it fidgets me.
Tell me, dear.
Last summer, Meg left a pair of gloves that were at the Lawrences, and only one was returned. We forgot all about it until Teddy told me that Mr. Brooke had it. He had it in his waistcoat pocket, and once it fell out, and Teddy joked him about it, and then he owned that he liked Meg, and didn't dare say so because she was so young and so poor. Is that a dreadful state of things?
Do you think Meg cares for him?
No. I don't know anything about love and such nonsense, but I know that in novels, girls show it by blushing and fainting and growing thin, starving themselves and acting like idiots. Meg does nothing of the sort. She eats and sleeps and drinks like a sensible creature, and she only, blushes a little bit when Teddy talks about lovers and looks me straight in the face when I bring up that man.
So then you fancy Meg is not interested in John. Mr. Brooke, I call him John now. We fell into it at the hospital.
I know you'll take his part. He's been so good to father, and he won't send him out, so I let Meg marry him if she wants to. What a mean thing to go around petting Papa and helping you just to wheel he was letting him.
Oh dear, don't get angry about it. I'll tell you how it happened. John was so devoted to father and couldn't help getting fond of him. He was perfectly open and honorable about his intentions with Meg. For he told us he loved her, but would wait until we could earn a comfortable home to ask her to marry him, just like him. He only wanted our leave to love her and work for her and the right to make her love him if he could. But I'm not consent to Meg's engaging herself this young.
Of course not, it would be idiotic. I knew there was mischief brewing. I felt it, and it's worse than I thought. I just wish I could marry Meg myself and keep her in the family forever.
Joe, I confide in you. Now, I don't want you to say any of this to Meg. When I see them together, I can better judge her feelings towards him.
She'll see him in those handsome eyes, and then it'll be all over for her. She's so soft, her heart, it'll melt like butter in the sun if anyone looks sentimentally at her.
Joe, aren't you overdoing it?
She likes brown eyes, and don't think John an ugly name and she'll go and fall in love. It'll be the end of peace and fun and cozy times together.
Not the end, Joe dear.
You'll see it all. They'll go lovering around the house and we shall all have to dodge. Meg will be no use to me anymore, for she'll be so absorbed with Brooke, and Brooke will go on and scratch up a fortune somewhere, and you'll carry off and leave a hole in the family. Now, if we were all boys, then there wouldn't be any such trouble. You don't like it, Marty, and I'm glad that I sent him about his way and not to make a word of it, and then we can all be happy together as we always have been.
I did wrong to sigh. It's natural and right you should all go to homes in your own time, but I do want to keep my girls as long as I can. If she and John love one another, they can wait. And test their love by doing so.
Hadn't you rather have her marry a rich man?
Money is a good and useful thing. I hope my girls will never feel the need of it too bitterly, nor be tempted by too much. I know by experience how much genuine happiness can be had in a home where the daily bread is earned, and few privations give way to the small pleasures.
Well, I'm disappointed in Meg, for I planned to have her marry Teddy by and live in a life of luxury all of her days.
I'm afraid Laurie is hardly grown up enough for Meg. Don't make plans, Joe, but let time and their own hearts meet your friends.
I just hate seeing things getting all snarled up and crisscrossed, a snip here and a pull there, and straight it all out. And if wearing flat irons on our head to keep us from growing up, I just wish it would. Buds will be roses and kittens cats, I know.
Father's asking for you, Marmee.
All right, thank you, Meg.
What's Laurie pulling his hair and beating his chest for? Showing you how your John will go on by and by, touching his neck. Don't say my John. It isn't proper or true. Please don't plague me, Joe. I've already made up my mind to reject him, but we are all to be friendly and go on as before. I see through you. You're not like yourself one bit, and you seem so far away from me. I don't mean to plague you and to bear it like a man, but I just wish it would all settle out. I hate to wait, and if you need effort to do it, make haste and get it over with quickly. I can't say or do anything until he speaks. Well, if he did speak, you wouldn't know what to say, but would cry or blush and let him have his way instead of giving him a good, decisive no.
I am not so silly and weak as you think. I know what to say, for I have planned it. I believe it is always best to be prepared in these situations.
Well, would you mind telling me what you'd say?
Of course not. You're old enough to be my confidant, and perhaps my experience will prove useful to you in your own affairs of this sort.
I don't need to have any. It's fun watching other people plunder, but I would feel like a fool doing so myself.
You might not think that very soon if you liked someone very much and he liked you.
What do you say to John?
I shall say, thank you, Mr. Brooke. Let us be friends as we once were.
That's difficult enough. I don't believe you'll ever say it, and I know he won't be satisfied if you do. If he goes on like the rejected lovers in the books, he'll give in rather than hurt his feelings.
I will not. I shall tell him I've made up my mind and walk out of the room with dignity.
Who's that?
Who are we expecting, girls?
Good afternoon. I came to get my umbrella. That is, and to see if your father's resting easily.
Joe, why don't you go check on your father?
I'll go ask him. Yeah.
Mother should like to see you.
Don't go. Are you afraid of me, Margaret?
How could I be afraid after all you've done for Father? I only wish I knew how to repay you for it.
Well, shall I tell you how?
Oh no, please don't.
I won't trouble you, Meg. I want to know if you care for me. I love you so much.
I don't know.
Well, can you try to find out, please? I can't remember any part until I'm ready to know if I'm my reward in the end or not.
I'm too young.
I'll wait. And in the meantime, could you be learning to like me? Would that be a hard lesson?
Not if I choose to learn it, but...
Oh, please choose to learn it, Meg. I love to teach, and this is easier than any Latin or Greek.
I don't choose. Please go away and let me be.
Do you really mean that?
Yes, I do. I'm too young to be worried about such things.
Oh, Meg. I'll wait by and by until you've had more time. But please don't play me. I didn't think that of you.
Please, I'd really rather you not think of me at all.
What is this?
And March, what a surprise to see you!
That's evident, but what is Father's friend doing to make you look like a peony? There's mischief going on, and I insist upon knowing it.
Mr. Burke was just going to get his umbrella.
Yes, it's right here.
Look, my boy's tutor, yes, I know all about it. Joe blunted it and lent it to your father, and you made her tell me. Hush! The others will hear. Shan't I call Mother? No, not yet. I have something to say to you, and it must be my mind at once. You don't need to marry this girl, do you? If you do, not one penny of my money goes to you. Remember that and be sensible.
I shall marry whom I please, Aunt March, and you can give your money to anyone you like.
Oh, highty-tighty. Is that the way you take my advice, miss? Oh, you'll be sorry for it by and by when you've tried love in a cottage and found it a failure.
Well, it must be better than the love that some people find in a nice house.
Now, Meg, my dear, take my advice. I mean it kindly. I don't want you to spoil your whole life by making a mistake at the beginning of it. It's your duty to marry rich. You ought to make a rich match, and it ought to be impressed upon.
Father and Mother like Brooke, even if he is very poor.
Your parents have no more worldly wisdom than you, baby.
And I'm glad of it.
This Rook is poor, and he hasn't any rich relatives, does he?
No, but he has many warm friends.
You can't live off of friends, Meg. You'll see how cool they'll grow. And he doesn't have a business, does he?
No, but Mr. Lawrence is going to help him.
Oh, Mr. Lawrence! No, he is an old fellow. It's beyond me what people can gain by being cross with the world. He can't be depended on. People who lose their tempers never are.
But we never see our own virtues, do we, Aunt March?
You're right. So you plan on marrying a man without money, business, or position, and go on working harder than you do now, when you could be comfortable all your days by minding me. I thought you had more sense, Meg.
I could do better than John if I waited for half my life. He is good and kind and majestic and brave and
Childish Treibel.
everybody likes and respects him.
Since when are you everyone?
And I am proud to think that he cares for me, although I am so young and poor and silly.
He knows you have rich relatives. That is the secret of his liking.
Aunt March, I will not. John is above such meanness, and I won't listen to you for a second if you say so.
Get it.
I know that I shall be happy with John, for I have been happy with him so far, and I know I shall be happier still because he loves me, and
No. I wash my hands of the whole affair. You are a willful child, and you have lost more than you know to this piece of folly.
Won't you stay and see Father?
No, I'm too disappointed in you to see Father now. I have conspiracy to see him.
He's come all the way from Washington. He'll be so disappointed.
What's his disappointment to mine? Don't expect anything from me when you're married. Your Mr. Duke's friends must take care of you now. I am done with you forever.
Meg, thanks for defending me. And Aunt March, prove you do care for me at least a little bit.
I don't know how much until she leaves you.
And I need to go away, but may I stay here and be happy? May I?
Yes.
What is this I see?
Exactly what you see.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You'll make the best couple in the land.
You're the first one to encourage us.
I always knew Brooke would have it his way.
But I didn't.
What do you mean?
Well, I'd have failed with Grand March.
You mean she agrees?
Oh, she was mean, but she didn't agree.
I don't understand.
Well, I had prearranged to reject John.
And did.
What was your plan?
I was going to say, thank you, Mr. Brooke, and fly outside of the room.
And what did you say instead when you proposed?
I said, thank you, John, and I flew straight into his arms.
Miss March, at last the sun has come into your house.
I suspected it, but not quite so soon.
Barney.
Mother.
My son. Come, your father will be pleased to hear of this.
Tell him? Yes! You don't know? No, I told him yes! I don't approve of the match, but I guess I'll make up my mind to bear it and not say a word against it. You can't know how hard it is for me to give up, Meg.
You don't give her up. You only go halves.
Never can be the same again. I've lost my dearest friend.
You got me anyways. I'm not good for much, Joe. And I'll stand by you. All the days of my life. Upon my word, I will.
I know you will, and I'm so much obliged. You're always a great comfort to me, Teddy.
It's because I love you, Joe.
Oh, Teddy, please don't.
Oh, really, you must hear. It's no use, Joe. Joe, we've got to have it out. The sooner the better for the both of us.
Say what you will, then I'll listen.
I have loved you ever since I've known you, Joe. I couldn't help it. You've been so good to me, and I've tried to show it, but you wouldn't let me. So I must take you here and give me an answer, for I cannot go on like this any longer.
I wanted to save you from this. I thought you'd understand.
I know you did, but girls are so queer. Never know what they mean, say no when they mean yes, and drive a man out of his wits just for fun.
I never wanted to make you care for me.
I thought you loved me, and I realize I'm not half good enough.
Yes, you are. You're a great deal too good for me, and I'm so grateful to you, and I'm so proud and fond of you. I don't know why I can't love you as you want me to. I've tried it, but I can't change the feeling, and it would be a lie to say that I do when I don't.
Really, truly, Joe.
I don't believe it's the right sort of love. And I'd rather not try it. Lord, I want to tell you something.
Oh, don't tell me. I can't bear to know.
Tell what?
That you love another man,
I haven't the least idea of loving anybody else.
but you will after a while, and then what will become of me?
Well, you'll love someone else too, like a sensible one, and forget all about this trouble.
I can't love anyone else, Joe, and I'll never forget you. Never.
Sit down and listen, for I indeed want to do right and make you happy.
Go on.
I agreed with Marty that you and I are not suited to each other because our strong wills and quick tempers would make us miserable if we were ever so foolish.
Mary? No, we shouldn't. For if you love me, Joe, I should be a perfect saint. For you can make me anything you like.
Can't you be reasonable and take a sensible view of the case?
I won't be reasonable. And I don't want to take what you call a sensible view. It won't help me, and it will only make me sore. I don't believe you've got any hope. I think I haven't. Don't do this to us, dear. Everybody expects it. Grandpa has his heart set upon it. Your people like it. And I can't get on without you. Say you will. And let's be happy together.
Can't say yes, truly, so I'm not going to say it at all. You'll see that I'm right eventually, and you'll thank me for it.
I'll be hanged if I do.
You'll find some lovely, accomplished woman who will adore you and make a fine mistress for your fine home. I'm homely and I'm
love you, Joe.
And you would be ashamed
I love you, Joe.
I can't help it even now. I shouldn't like elegant society, and you would, and you would hate my scribbling, and I couldn't get along without it, and we would be unhappy and wish we hadn't done it, and everything would be horrid.
Anything more?
No, nothing more. Except that, Teddy, I don't believe I'll ever marry. I'm happy as I am, and I love my liberty much too well to be in any hurry to give it up.
I know you. There'll come a time when you'll find somebody, and you'll love him, and you'll live and die for him, and I'll just have to sit by and watch.
Yes, I will die for him if he ever comes along and makes me love him in spite of myself, and you must do the best you can. I've tried my best, but you won't be reasonable, and it's selfish of you to keep teasing me for what I can't give. I will always be fond of you, very fond indeed, as a friend, but we won't marry, and then the sooner you believe it, the better for both of us. So now
I'm sorry, Joe!
Where are you going?
To the devil!
Lori! Lori, where are you rushing off to? Lori! Joe, what's wrong with Lori? He was foolish enough to propose to me. And you refused. They're all much too young to think of such things.
Meg has more the thought of it. I was just speaking without March and she told me everything.
Did you run to come off?
It's an ill wind.
Meaning what?
Very soon, I'm to leave to Rome to study painting under the masters.
Isn't that wonderful?
Doubly so.
How?
Mr. Lawrence informed Aunt March he was sending Lord here next month.
It's my gorgeous little spending a great deal of time together.
Won't you care?
No, but why should I?
Joe, I have a confession to make.
Fashion regarding what?
Lori told me he loved you more than me, and I did a terrible thing, Joe. I flew into a rage. I went to the attic, to your desk. I tore in all the shreds. I put it in the box.
What does this mean?
Hey, I'm sorry, it's my dreadful temper. I tried to curb it and I think I have it and then it comes back worse than ever. I don't know what to do.
Watch and pray, dear. Never get tired of trying. Never think it's impossible to conquer your faults.
Oh, there you are, my dear. Now leave us alone. We know how to navigate jumping rooms.
Yes, Father.
So, tell me about yourself since I was gone.
Well, there's much to tell, Father dear, except that Joe, Amy, and Meg have been such good, attentive sisters, and even on the darkest day, I felt their loving presence. How was Washington? Tell me all about it.
It's the prettiest place known to man, but at present there's a cloud of sorrow.
And in New York, Father dear, what of it?
Too massive for comprehension.
I'm going there.
Really?
Yes, I wrote to Mrs. Curtin applying for a position to tutor her children. Joe, you didn't. And she replied back, saying that I could have the nights myself to write to my heart's content. How exciting!
You're not leaving too soon, I hope.
Oh, well, if you object, I won't go at all.
We'll see.
Are you comfortable, Beth?
Yes, Marguerite.
Oh, is that the post? And I'll go.
We're just headed.
Preparing something extra for you.
Picking it up as she calls it.
Oh, Beth! Oh, the check! I won the prize and let me go to the seashore. The doctor promised.
I can't, Joe. It would be too selfish.
Oh, but you must. That's what I tried for, and that's why I succeeded. I don't do any good to writing on my own, so it would work for me, work for you, you see? Plus, wouldn't it be nice to see you come home all plumped and rosy again?
Came over to get a breath of fresh air. Care to come with me, or Beth?
No, I'm rather comfortable here. We won't be very long, girls.
Just a breath of fresh air.
Beth, why don't you want to go to the seashore?
I fear to be too far away from home.
There?
Try to see it and don't be troubled by it, because it's what's best. Indeed, it is.
Is this why you were so happy when Mother and Father came home? Did you feel it then, even if you kept it to yourself?
Yes. I saw all you so happy and strong for their return, and I thought it was some sick fancy.
Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me and really help you? And you poor child, you bore your cross so cheerfully.
Maybe it was wrong, but I tried to do right. Life is like the tide, Joe. It struggles to get in the flow, but enjoys a brief moment of achievement, but when it goes out, it will not be stopped.
Your time shall not turn so soon, but I shall work and pray and fight against it, but it can't be too late.
Joe, dear, don't hope anymore. You're just so happy for it.
He's so fond of you too, Dad.
He's so good to me. I love him like a brother. You can tell them, right, Joe? I heard people who love us most are most finest things.
Well, I'll take care of them if I can, Beth, but
Promise me, Joe. Lori will comfort Amy. Meg has John, but you must stand by mother and father.
I can, but Beth, you cannot give up. You're going to get better soon. Look, think of the rightful father. You want to see him win at his age and you at yours.
I don't want to win the race. Joe, just take me in my room.
We love you, Beth.
That's your part in life, Joe. People always lean on you for support.
Well, and why not? I'm strong.
We've had good times together, right, Joe?
Yes, Beth.
I think the tide will go out easily, if you help me.
Hello, Amy.
I don't want to see you.
Oh, Amy, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
Have you been drinking again?
Only a little. And it's only 4 p.m. You can't be too hard on me. So when you begin your great work of art, Raffaella?
Never.
What? Why?
I'm a failure. Joe is in New York being a writer, and I'm a failure.
That's quite the statement to make at 20.
Yeah, well, Rome took the vanity out of me, and Paris made me realize I'd never be genius. So I'm quitting all my foolish artistic hopes.
Why should you? You have so much talent and energy.
Talent isn't genius, and no amount of energy can make it so. I want to be great or nothing, and I won't settle for some commonplace daughter. So I don't intend to try anymore.
What women are allowed into the club of geniuses anyway?
The Brontes?
That's it.
Yes, I think so.
And who declares genius?
Well, men, I suppose.
They're cutting the competition.
That's a very complicated argument to make me feel better.
Do you, though? Feel better?
I do think that, male or female, I'm of middling talent.
Then may I ask your last portrait to be of me?
All right.
So now you've given up on all your foolish artistic hopes. What do you intend to do with your life?
Polish up my other talents and become some ornament to society, I suppose.
That's where Fred Vaughn comes in?
Don't make fun of him.
You're not engaged. I hope.
No.
But you will be, if he goes down promptly on one knee.
Well, most likely, yes. Hey, he's rich. Richer than you even.
I know queens in society can't get on without money. But it does sound odd coming from one of your mother's girls.
I've always known I would marry rich. Why should I be ashamed of that?
There's nothing to be ashamed of, as long as you love him.
Well, I believe we have some power over who we love. It isn't something that just happens to a person.
Think the poets might disagree.
Well, I'm not a poet. I'm just a woman. And as a woman, I have no way to make my own money, not enough to earn a living or to support my family. And if I had my own money, which I don't, that money would belong to my husband the moment we got married. If we had children, they would be his, not mine. They would be his property. So don't sit there and tell me that marriage isn't an economic proposition, because it is. It may not be for you, but it most certainly is for me. Oh, that's Fred. Could you untie me, please? How do I look? Do I look all right?
You look beautiful. You are beautiful.
Well, have you made up your plans?
Yes, we decided to wait 3 months. And in the meantime, I feel like it's my duty to join the army.
What does Meg think about that?
I agree with him. I feel like it wouldn't be right for our children to see that their father didn't do his duty for the country.
So there is a family, eh?
Quite a big one.
Father, man!
I'll get the door, Hannah.
My dear, it's your birthday. Let me get for you.
Happy birthday, Marmy! Oh my goodness.
Where are the twins, Daisy and Demi?
Oh, John's following with them. You look beautiful, Marmy.
For my children.
All here to celebrate. How's Joe?
The life in New York has been a broadening one, and this German Professor Bear she speaks so much about must have given her some good, sound, substantial advice.
Who is this Professor Bear?
She'll tell you. I've invited Ralph Emerson for dinner.
Oh, are you worried you might think her writing is trash?
He's too great a writer to ridicule. Besides, he's spoken highly of some of Joe's stories.
Oh, he has? He's read that?
Not alone for my sake, but
Oh, thrilling.
he admires her pluck. In this day of men writers where it's almost sacrilege for a woman to write, it's doubly hard for them to gain recognition.
Do you suppose the day will ever come when we'll have equal suffrage?
Our progress must move slowly. Poor old Morse was treated as an imbecile when he said the telegraph was even possible. And this Mr. Bell, who claims he could send spoken word over wire, and his invention he calls the telephone, is in danger of being deported to a desert island.
Well, it does sound rather fantastical.
Progress always is, my dear.
That's what John says.
And he's right.
Mother, I'd like to have a talk. Where are the others?
Oh, my dears, I'm going to leave unless you two talk.
Joe's upstairs finishing up a story she must post, so we're alone, my dear.
Oh, this is great good fortune, Marmy.
What's wrong, my dear?
It's John.
What has he done?
I just don't know how to tell it.
Forget you're being here. Become a child once again and tell Marmy all your troubles. Maybe they'll be just as little as the ones that were so soon forgotten when you were younger.
I am contemplating
A divorce.
My dear, such a move involves scandal.
I don't care if it does.
Sit here and open your heart, my dear. Start at the beginning.
It's just, I know that's scandal, Marmy. I wouldn't tell anybody but you, but I'm afraid that if we go on this way, I might as well be a widow.
Go on, how, my dear?
He's continually away at the Scots, and I never see him anymore. I don't think it's fair that I should have all of the hard work and none of the amusements. I do declare men can be so selfish, even the best of them.
Women can be selfish too. Don't blame John until you find fault in yourself.
Why? I don't see what I've done wrong.
Don't you neglect him?
Oh,
Let me show you. When John makes it a point to give you your society in the evening, he's home in leisure time.
well, yes, he does keep me company, but we can't do that so often anymore, for I have 2 babies to tend.
I think you can, and I think you ought.
Why, Marmy, I'm dumbfounded.
May I speak quite freely? And will you remember that it's a mother who claims as well as a mother who sympathizes?
Yes, of course. Please speak to me as if I were little Meg again. I often think I'm more in need of teaching than ever with 2 children who are learning from me.
You've only made the same mistake most young wives make. You've forgotten your duty to your husband and your love for your children. Children shouldn't separate you, but they should bring you together. Not as if they're all yours and John must do nothing but support them. I've seen it for some weeks, but I haven't spoken. Feeling would come out at the right time.
I'm afraid it won't.
He wants his little home. But he isn't home without you, and you're always in the nursery.
Isn't that where I ought to be?
Not all the time. Don't shut him out of the nursery. Teach him how to be a part of it. The children need him. Let him feel as if he has his part to do.
What do you advise, Marty?
Well, I've let John have more to do with the management of Dina. The boy needs some fatherly training, and you go outside more, get fresh air, keep cheerful, as well as busy, for you are the sunshine maker of the family, and when you get dismal, there's no fair weather.
Thank you, Marty.
Then, talk to him. Let him read, to exchange ideas with one another. Don't shut yourself up in the bandbox because you're a woman, but understand the world around you and educate yourself on what's going on, for it'll affect you and yours.
Must I talk to him about, business, society, and politics?
Try it, and see if he doesn't find it as interesting as one of Miss Scott's summers. This is the time you must grow together. The first tenderness soon wears off unless care is taken to preserve it. There is no time as beautiful or as precious as the first years of the little lives given for you to share. I promised Joy I'd pick up her dress and I will be right down. Oh, how paternal you look.
Oh, John, let me get your hat. It's so hot. It's tired.
Oh, sweet, innocent they look.
Oh, you should have heard them a few minutes ago.
You don't think they need...
No, not that. You see, a pinstripe gave me and she began to yell. And then Debbie got angry, trying to show me that he could scream her down.
Give them to me.
Don't break them.
I've handled babies before you were born.
They're not twins.
Come with Grandma, I'll put you on my bed.
John, I've decided to spend less time with the children and spend more time talking to you instead. Who do you think is the next best candidate for president?
Did you say who will be the best man for president?
Well, yes, I think Buchanan is far too old, so Abraham Lincoln is our best ticket, correct?
You're not ill, are you, Meg?
No, it's Lincoln and Andrew Jackson. That's our best idea, don't you think?
Johnson, not Jackson, dear.
The last names of vice presidents don't matter. It might as well be something like Smith.
Quite right.
We should invite the Scots over for dinner. Which do you think I should prefer, chicken or steak?
Well, I've never really noticed.
I guess we should do both.
Are you sure you're all right, dear?
Of course, I'm not mad, and nor have I taken leave of my senses. I'm only trying to follow Mother's advice.
And she advised you to ask a lot of silly questions?
No, she advised me to take more of an interest in the things that you like. I know I might not be any expert on politics, but if you're willing to teach me, then I'm willing to learn.
No one ever has or ever will learn politics, my dear. But I promise to teach you all I know.
And I have so many books that I'd love to read with you.
And we can go back to being John and Meg.
Snack and John.
The happy ending to the story or what?
Joe! It's so good to see you again. How are you?
I'm good, how are you? Please. The train was late. Cal planted itself on the train tracks and refused to budge for a full hour. Everyone on the train tried to put his hand at it, but Mrs. Cal was praying really good.
Well, how did they get her off?
I gave my famous imitation of a cat. And neither aroused her maternal instinct or frightened her into moving.
So the train moved, eh?
Oh, yes.
So, you've become a great writer now.
Seems as if I have.
Well, why that tone of voice?
Well, they say all writers are absent-minded. Can you imagine me getting to the place where I buy Marty's birthday present and forget it altogether? Well, I realized as soon as I boarded the train, and then I sent a telegram over to my Professor Baird, my next door neighbor, and if he too doesn't forget it, I should have seen it by nightfall.
Well, I think the New York train came in a few minutes ago. Shall I go see if it's arrived?
Well, there's plenty of time. Leave it too low first, and ready in the attic.
Hope I'm not disturbing your writing.
I don't do that anymore. I think it's safer.
You're much too lonely here, Joe. Wouldn't you like to go back to New York? What about your friend? Professor Bear, was that his name?
No, I ruined our friendship with my temper just as I ruined everything. I'm sure we'll never hear from him again.
Doubt a sincere friend would be deterred.
I wish that were true. If I were to ruin a book, this would all be so easy. I'd give up the world happily.
Laurie's returning, you know.
Yes?
Amy sent word she's coming home. She's finished up her courses in France, but Laurie will be accompanying them on the journey home.
That's good of him.
What is it?
I don't know. I've always been quite content with my family. I don't understand it. Perhaps I was too quick in turning him down. Lori,
Do you love him?
I think if you asked me again, I would say yes. Do you think he'll ask me again?
But do you love him?
I care more to be loved than want to be loved.
That is not the same thing as loving.
No, I I just feel like women, they have minds and they have souls as well as just hearts. And they've got ambition and talent as well as just beauty. And I'm so sick of people saying that love is just all a woman is fit for. I'm sick of it. I'm so lonely. I don't know what to do. I'm home! Irene! Oh my goodness! Oh, Hannah! Oh, Joe! Amy! I'm gonna be coming down. Joe! Lori! Oh, you have a mustache. I'll be coming in this.
Oh, this place diagram.
Do you know who said that first?
Who?
Erin Moses.
Okay, Alan.
Joe, that's a long research of perfect chess class.
Yeah, good luck at your parents.
Dear Joe.
Don't be jealous, Amy. I'm not in the least.
Excuse, please, Joe. I was afraid to lose a chance to remember the presents in the moment, so I could read them myself. Here's the presents. I go back.
Don't do no such thing. I want you to meet my people.
See if I can make it out to mistake my description. You so many times you've started to me.
Perfectly all right.
This is the Mary, this is the Meg.
Pleasure to meet you.
What's your husband?
Quite right. My name?
This is Brooke. This is Ananda. What's your name, Elot?
Yes.
You've been in Europe lately.
Yes, just returned.
What's the matter? You tell me you have your brother. I'm not your brother.
This is Sister Lawrence.
You seem to say it, but I think he was a brother. I'm afraid that's all I'll ever be to Joe. To be a brother to such a wonderful girl is an honor.
But the twins on my bed.
Oh, here's the wonderful mother I've dreamt of someday knowing.
This is Bear, Mother. Oh, and this is Hannah.
Welcome, Professor. What brings you up our way?
That's Miss Josephine with my secrets.
Really? Joe's been to me for great help, Professor.
And here's the preacher man, is the friend with confidence of the greatest man in America.
Professor Bear, Father.
You really don't have such an assistance to my Joe, eh?
And nothing to the assistance she has given me. Where do you say you put the twins? Stacy and Debbie.
On my bed.
Come in, that's okay.
I'll be careful not to wake them.
I'll see that they don't.
What's his name from the babies?
Daisy and Denver.
Becky, that's right.
Yes.
Lord is their foster father. The girl from Europe asking us to name the baby Stacy and Debbie.
But by Debbie, in French that means a half. Is the baby who twins on behalf of the older two?
Lord will explain that later.
There won't be any later.
What do you mean?
I go back by the train.
No, you don't, Professor. You're here for dinner.
Well, this is Lori staying for dinner too.
Certainly.
Then let me head go.
But I want you to stay.
You must.
That's final.
Oh, that's it that I go out to deliver my presents and we hadn't finished.
Did you bring me a present, Professor?
Oh, no, Mom, apologies. I have a blunder made for you. My forgetfulness, Joe.
It was a slip of the tongue, I think.
You got to slip almost as like.
I forgot your present, Mother, and I telegraphed the professor to post it, but he brought it.
And I do not understand that for the post, so perhaps I bring it post haste.
They will come when you learn to read this door locked. In the meantime, any thief could walk in with the slightest interference from his family. How are you, my dear? Let me wish you a happy birthday. Here's a paisley shawl to remember me by. Put it on when you see the degrees of your aging complexion. John, how are you, my dear? It's great to see you back. I have read all of your writings like wine in cruise of age. How are the twins, Mr. Brooke? Oh, don't answer that. It's a man know about babies.
Who's this stranger? Someone going to introduce me? I must introduce myself. This is Professor Bear at March.
Sorry to know you. You always spoke it often and so pleasantly of you that I knew it was you when you came in.
Well, Joe was always my favorite in the family. I knew she had a nurse to see. I just had to drive her to it when she was younger. If she'd listened to these indulgent parents of hers, she'd be married to some local woman with a baby or two interrupting with her career.
Is that fair to me, Aunt March?
We must wear the shoes that fit us in this life. You know, man, I like your looks, and I've read several of the articles Joe has sent me, and I agree with your viewpoint. But I must have one thing right in your calculations before I accept you. How, when, and where did you meet Joe?
Where shall we start?
At the beginning?
Oh, you tell me, Joe.
It began like this. My first night at the curse, I was descending the steps, and I saw a servant girl descending to that pot of iron. But then Professor Bear came out of nowhere and carried it up for her.
Bully for you, Bear. A lady in distress is always appealing.
Oh, you read that somewhere.
Go on, what was your reason for helping her?
The little bag is too young for such studies.
Well, the second day I was passing by the professor's room and on the accident my umbrella knocked against his door.
There I stood with the dressing gown on, the big blue sock in one hand and gardening needles in the other.
I know German men embroider, but darning socks is a completely different thing.
Not so pretty.
Better keeps the feet warm.
Fine logic, Professor.
Absolutely. Well, a few days later, I came home to find the nursery in an uproar. There was the professor playing Mallory with the two Kirk children and his two orphan nephews, and Tina, the child of the French woman who does the fine ironing.
What'd you do, Joe?
She joined the menagerie. I was the elephant and she was the kangaroo.
Good for you, young man.
And then, a few nights later, he asked me if he could read me the death of Wallenstein.
And farther, I hope.
It's her help.
Well, he was unaware that Tina had placed a paper cocked hat on his head.
And once in the most solemn part, I look up and she's laughing. So I said, Miss Marsh, what do you laugh in my face? Have you no respect for me that you're going so bad?
And then I told him about the hat.
Since we laugh and laugh, you think we're still around together.
But our merriment was short-lived, for the hat was made out of the weekly volcano, which was the paper I sold my trashy stories to.
So I lost the paper and the stories in it.
Well, I
quite approve of your actions. Nothing pleases children half as much to see their elders become childish.
Well, I've seen the errors in my way for some trash writing, and then whatever success I have now is due to an old paper contact.
Stop bringing them up.
Welcome to this family, young man. You and I have made something of this girl.
I hope we make more.
Did you get a chance to look at the hills as came along with us?
Why should you go stargazing at the hills?
Well, I told him about the formation that he left in my ore deposits.
That's one time we never did sociology.
I want you to see the hills in the full sunshine.
Here are some excellent views of the hills, Professor. Come here, let me show you.
This is on hills. Here's the standing above the falls.
Where?
Take a look, please.
It's Niagara Falls.
Let me see.
Oh, that's the view we got in our honeymoon.
The professor has no interest in Niagara Falls.
Oh, yes, I do.
What interest could you have in Niagara Falls, Professor?
Isn't that the place where everybody goes to get married?
No honeymoon's perfect without seeing the falls.
I'm going there very soon.
Hello?
I hope not.
Here's the view I meant, Professor.
Oh, that's beautiful. Is that the church in the foreground?
Let me see. Oh yes, the church where we were married and lived, Father.
But if we don't hurry, you won't be able to see the hills with the proper light. No.
Let me run back to my place and I will get you the hills, Professor.
We'll go see them now, Professor, and get a first-hand view.
What is this first things first, Miss Joe?
We'll assemble a few friends and roll over the hills tomorrow. Joe, you gave the professor the wrong hat?
Oh, excuse, please.
Here's the young man. Oh, remember my telling you how we used to play post blocks when we were younger?
Well, for hours you got me laughing at the jokes.
Well, the box is still out in the tree. Let's go see.
Before you go, I want to show you some photos of the children when they were younger.
The professor has no interest in children, do you, Professor?
Oh, always I was saying we'll be interested in children.
Oh, but it only takes a second to see the tree.
But Joe, I would love to see your family's pictures.
Come, stay there, Professor.
Excuse, later we all laughed together. Do you have a little picture of Joe? Or, sorry, what's his case? Do you have a picture of Joe when she was little?
Oh, there she is when she was 3.
Well, she hasn't changed much.
I have to.
She grew up, but not out.
Out here.
The face out.
Ah.
This is you, Miss March? You're much better looking now.
Oh, let me see. She was pretty then, but she's much pretty now.
Well, I did not know her then, so she is much more beautiful to me now.
Thanks, Professor. This one over here is Meg, and oh, that's Amy.
Oh, who's this angelic child?
Or that.
Oh, Joe tells me about her. How you all love her very much, and the devotion she gives to you is right up until the very end.
Yes, she.
Is he mother?
Oh, Sean. I'm so sorry.
It's not right, it's not your fault.
I'll say to you, Professor. Come with me. I have some more funny pictures to show you.
Glad I found you, look, Joe.
First time I've had it in hours.
He belongs to you, though.
Yes, along with someone.
The professor.
Yes. Family seem to think that since he doesn't speak our language all too well, that he needs entertaining.
Joe, I have a great surprise for you.
Now we're full of them, Teddy.
Joe, I'm no longer a single man.
You've gone and gotten married.
Yes, please, and I never will again.
Mark's not such a dreadful thing what you do next.
A characteristic. but not exactly a complimentary congratulations.
Well, get up off your knees and tell me about it. Come on, Teddy, I'm pining to know.
How good it sounds to have you call me Teddy. No one ever calls me that but you, Joe.
You never told me you were married.
Can't you guess?
Not Amy.
What an excellent guesser you are.
What does she call you?
My lord.
Really, you look it, but if you belie yourself to position.
Don't I look like the married man in the head of a family?
No. And, I mean, you look bonnier and bigger, but you're the same sneakers as ever.
No, really, you ought to treat me with more respect.
How can I with the mere idea of you settled down and married to so irresistibly funny and barely keep silver? Just can't believe it.
You plan to come home with Carol's 1 year. They changed their minds.
She changed her minds.
She has English notions about chaperones, so I decided to settle the difficulty by saying, let's get married. Do as we like. It's like taking time by the fetlock, as my wife says.
Are you proud of those 4 words and don't you love to say them?
Half the last 6 weeks.
Why didn't you write and let us know?
We wanted to surprise you.
Succeeded.
Joe, I just want to say this once. We'll put by forever. As I wrote to you my letters, Amy, you've been so kind to me, but I can never stop loving you.
That love altered, eh?
You and Amy have changed places in my heart. That's all. And it would have come about naturally if I had waited as you tried to make me. But I can never stay patient.
I told you that once.
I was a boy, headstrong and violent, and it took a hard lesson to show me my mistake before it was Joe.
You did then, Teddy.
On my mind, I was once so tumbled I didn't know who I loved best. You or Amy, the one I saw her in Switzerland, everything seemed clear all at once.
We all got into our right places.
Yes, and I can honestly share my love with both Sister Joe and my baby. I love them both dearly. We said yes to go back to the happy old days that we used to be.
Certainly, Teddy, but don't you think we better tell the others?
Capitalize it.
Marty, Mother!
Do you want Amy?
You'll know how badly soon.
What is it, Joe? What's up? Well, very pleasant. Interesting news to tell you all.
I want you all to meet my wife.
Congratulations.
Why didn't you tell us?
Congrats, my boy.
Amy, I never saw you as radiant or as happy. Very life suits you, my dear.
And you're not gonna all like angels.
Which rules?
I do.
I wouldn't think so. It pleases her, you know.
That's one way to say things.
By and by, we'll take turns for marriage. House one's rights, double one's duties.
I'm ready to see you ahead, my husband.
Amy's much too well bred for that. I'm not the sort of man to submit to it. My wife and I respect ourselves and each other ever so much to tyranize a quarrel.
Didn't I say that once? I know I did.
Yes, sir, my wife and I.
Excuse, please, is this linked to your wife?
Yes, Professor, my wife and I.
My heart's congratulations. Joe, why did you not tell me
I
this?
didn't know it before.
Did you make shows with me too?
We broke the news to all of us only a minute ago.
Well, those kind of surprises I felt more disastrous.
What a great professor.
Personally, I prefer to acquaint people of my actions.
Is that why you dropped in on us today?
Oh, well, what I meant was...
The carriages are arriving. What is right now, Papa? Let's go.
What did you call it?
Papa!
Can that be so?
You look pretty mature, Professor.
What sort of things did you bring, Amy?
All sorts of frilly French things will adore that.
John, let's see.
Loads of things.
Oh, hopefully not too lazy to stop it.
Not.
Come, Father.
I think else today talking to Professor.
Maybe you prefer some younger company?
Oh, I don't tell me Mr. Marsh so old.
See?
She always likes girls' dresses.
That's right. They're soft and fluffy.
You want to see the dresses?
No, I have to say something. I have to say something too.
Oh, will you sit down?
No, I have to say this very quick.
Well, they won't be back for a long time.
Why are you so sure?
The house on them.
What house calls?
Oh,
You just can't American slang, eh?
sit like this.
Haven't you say it? You so I have something very serious to say to you.
Sit down then.
No, I have to say this very quick. You must talk to me apart.
I won't bite you, Professor.
So I'm going far away.
Where?
Now let's give me the place's name. That's right, Cincinnati, Ohio.
What are you going to do in Cincinnati?
Teach German.
Well, you're doing that with great success in New York.
But in Cincinnati, I got the chair.
Got 6 chairs in your room, this is yours.
So this is a chair in the university. I'm going to be one of the faculty.
When do you plan to leave?
As soon as I pack and I get back.
Sorry, I shouldn't see a lot.
You've been good friends, no? Yes?
Yes, and friends with the kids.
Oh, it's scary. Why you cry?
Because you're going away.
Gosh, why that is too good?
My crying or you're going away.
Both. Miss Shaw, I have nothing but love to give to you, and I came to see if you could care for me amongst your peoples and friends. And I wanted to be sure I was not wrong.
You found? Go on.
Miss Shaw, you make this little place in your heart for old friends.
Only a little place.
Little places can come to big places.
You say?
Shaw, you've come to the place, the moment?
Yes, this is the place at the moment.
The picture shows you on the old museum of Langen and miles on the board.
You're going to see one of the hearts of fortunes in heaven, am I your friend?
No one speaks of my name since Nina dies.
So who you've loved before?
I gave my first love to her.
Who was she?
Nina's sister, but you mean the illusion or diverse to complete that best? Does that not sound sentimental?
Beautiful word that I've ever heard. I've never heard this before.
She sometimes spoke with this glory so sweet from the mouth. I often buried it in her heart for every deed.
She was, but now I only have love for my wife.
Yeah, yes.
I see you recognize something else in the board, Professor.
Over the family.
My son.
Oh, God, nimble,
Mommy,
much
you have to get in the
love,
chair.
my little family.
Oh, Mommy, you have to get in the chair.
Oh, you crown.
What's the meaning from all this?
Oh, it's a family custom. Whenever it's one of our birthdays, you get in the chair.
Put on the crown, mother.
Oh, Queen of Queens, eh?
Just the parents I invented when they were small to please my little women.